Right, today is, my God, this thing takes such a long time to turn on. I'm a bit worried that one day it won't turn on. Anyway, today is the 21st of May. It's Sunday, 2 o'clock, and I'm walking into, just to say, when I'm finished with this Philips device nowadays, I always take out the batteries. And it seems to be making these batteries last a long time, because at the moment the batteries here they're full charge. I'm having 3 bars. And I've been using these batteries for a while. But I have a feeling, because in the past I've left the batteries inside and then I've put it in a drawer and I've left it there for a few days or a week, and when I come back to use it, the batteries are drained. So I think if you leave the batteries in here, there is some kind of a problem. There's some kind of the power leaks out or something, even when it's switched off. Anyway, just thought I'd say that. It's Sunday. Flo is at home. She just received a new yoga book. She's there with Bob and Tuco. I'm walking into the Connemara as usual, kind of. It's a cloudy day. We've had continuous rain here for the past, I don't know, maybe a week, 10 days, maybe longer. And it's given the place here, I was just saying to myself that all the growth beside me here and even in the fields would be nearly up to my waist. All the grass, everything's grown so much because it is May. And the lavender as well, I'm noticing. The lavender was looking very washed out and brown, and it looked half dead, but now it's looking really green and vibrant, a vibrant green. It's like lovely little hedges. And everywhere there's a lot of growth. And it's kind of strange because it's, well, like I said, we're 10 days away from June, but it's cloudy. It's not cold because there's no wind, but I'm wearing my wonderful black AIG LE jacket, the one with all the pockets that I like so much, the one where I can put my phone in the breast pocket here, where at the moment I have my nighttime glasses. I must not forget about those. So it's a bit odd because it doesn't really feel like like you're that near to the summer. Let me try and pause here and then see. I'm going to cough, so I'm going to pause. There you go. That's a very handy thing. By the way, I tried to upload the Michel Thomas French to this thing, but it didn't take the files for some reason. Maybe I did it wrong, but I couldn't find a way of putting the files in it, which is a shame. It would have been very useful for that anyway. So I brought my Insta camera with me. I don't know, I'm just basically, if opportunity arises, maybe I can think of something, I may do a recording. I'm really enjoying the experience of this camera. Last night, it's just funny to lie in bed, wear the goggles and be transported as you're lying in bed. It's nice. I realize as well that although it's nice to take the countryside and everything, and it's very relaxing, and it's nice to lie in bed and just watch the scenery that I'm looking at now. I'm just looking at all the lavender. It really has changed over the week. But I noticed it's very nice when you record scenes that have got activity in them. Like I recorded a little 2-minute scene going through Orizon about a week ago. And watching that again, it's really cool because you keep seeing different things in the clip. You know, you can focus on different people, and if the clip is 2 or 3 minutes long, people are in the movement, so somebody may just arrive in the clip across the road, and by the end of the 2 minutes you can follow them, and they may get into their car and they may drive off, or they may be getting out of their car, they may go to a shop, or they may stop and talk to someone. And it's interesting because when you go back and watch the clip a second time, you kind of you can turn the camera around, and then you see someone else that you haven't seen at all, and they're walking a dog and they meet somebody, or the dog stops and has a poo or something. And I find it interesting to be able to watch a 3-minute clip several times from different viewpoints. It's a bit like Groundhog Day, where you can see the same thing but it's slightly different. You know, like there's a van pulls up, a man gets his clipboard before he gets out of the van, and I pass him, and so that's always there, and the noise of the van and the noise of the door is always there at the same time, but there's so many other things going on that you don't catch the first time. It's also a bit like one of those movies where, you know, there's a scene and they're going to replay the scene from different viewpoints. I'm really having a great time with that camera, and I don't know why, but I can watch these clips over and over. I don't get tired of them. I'm blown away by the technology, and I'm also very happy with the quality. There are other things on the app that I've looked at, like the usual parks and the sea and some various movies, and one of the movies was quite clear, but a lot of the stuff I've seen is more blurry, if maybe not blurry, maybe grainy than my own videos. I found my videos are clearer than a lot of the other stuff in the app. Bonjour. Which is really cool. The fact that my own creations are just as good, if not a better quality, than some of the stuff. The stuff there it's kind of downloaded to various platforms and sites and things, and maybe it's lost some of its quality, and it's a bit difficult to change the quality when you're watching these clips. It's because it's not like YouTube. Whereas mine have been done pretty much to the highest standard I can do them to. You know, I really put everything so that it's as good as it can be, and then I transfer the file across so it's not losing anything. So yeah. And then the other big news at this point is the story of the crypto, which it's nothing to do with the price of crypto, but I decided a few days ago to transfer Cardano and various things to my Trezor key, and it all went really well. I transferred the Cardano, I transferred the Litecoin, I managed to even transfer Doge from the Binance platform. But then I made a mistake in transforming the Ethereum Classic, and I transferred it, I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm positive, otherwise it would have worked. I transferred it to the wrong address. I sent it from Coinbase to my Ethereum account instead of Ethereum Classic, and there are different things. And so it didn't show up. And the reaction in me was just It absolutely drove me nuts. It's been a long time since I've been so annoyed about something, and it's kind of funny because I was saying a day before just how good everything had been going, that I managed to get the Instacamera working. There was no problem, there was no difficulties with anything, you know. It wasn't like a problem transferring things to YouTube, or a problem downloading things, or a difficulty or complications in the app. It was just great. And then I got the Oculus Go, and again, when you looked at the videos about having to connect and transferring files to it and various things, I thought, oh, I hope this is not going to be too complicated. And there was a little bit of a problem at the beginning, which I guess in a way I was lucky to see. It was something to do, perhaps something to do with my phone, or maybe it was just a case of I needed to shut down the thing and open it again. But I got that working anyway, very quickly, and since then it's been very easy to work. Very straightforward. Bonjour. And then, so I was just saying to myself, everything's going very well with all this technical stuff, and the crypto, the transfers I'd done were all very smooth. And then I had this glitch where something didn't work, and I could not figure out how to solve the problem. Because I kind of knew, shit, I've sent the thing to the wrong address, but at the same time I wasn't 100% sure. But eventually, after a couple of days, actually, I had access to the address that I'd sent the stuff to, because that was in the transaction report on my email, and I was able to put this address into the Ethereum Explorer, and it came straight up into the Ethereum account. And so I realized, well, I definitely sent it to the wrong place. And eventually, by following a tutorial, I was able to hook up my Trezor to the Ethereum website. And I did it wrong a few times, so it didn't work. But then the last time I did it, I think it was because I didn't type in a password or something. But then I got into Ethereum wallet, and in a drop-down box I went to the Ethereum Classic coin, and lo and behold, it was there, and I was so fucking delighted that I'd figured it out. And then it was no problem just sending it from there to the Trezor. Man, that was I don't know why, it just really bothered me. So I've still got a few things to do with crypto, but I'm kind of enjoying it at the moment. I've sent away for another hardware key, the Ledger Nano X, and I'm going to transfer all the other coins from Binance and Coinbase to that. And there's a little bit of ADA left as well. There's the part that I've earned from the staking, which I want to take that as well, because there's no point in staking 2,000 ADA when you can put it all together and stake 27,000 ADA. The more you stake, the better. That's 14 minutes. That's basically the news of the moment. What else? I'm reaching the part where you turn to go down the laneway where the horses used to be, but I've decided I'm going to keep going straight today. I'm going to go straight, and I'm going to hit the road up here past the hotel, and I'm going to walk in that way. It's a Saturday, it's around 2:30, so it's really, really quiet. I think everybody's eating. So I want to sort some crypto stuff out when I get to the Connemara. I'd like to take the remaining ADA out of that account and put it all together, have it all together staking. I was looking at other wallets then. Coinbase have their own wallet, and there's a wallet called Trust Wallet, and I wouldn't mind, just for the fun of it, I wouldn't mind opening up some of these wallets and just with my own money, just to kind of play around with them, just buy perhaps a little bit of something and put it in them, 20 or 30 euros worth of things, just so that I can practice how these accounts work and practice sending and receiving things and exchanging things. And if you had an account and it was, like I say, your total investment is 20 euros and you're just sending a couple of euros here and there, you're not really going to be too worried about making mistakes. And it might be good practice in the event that at some point we want to cash out. So the one thing I haven't really done is, which I'd like to try, maybe that's something I could try with these little experiments, is to buy something, send it around a bit, and then, send it to Binance or Coinbase and see if it's possible to cash it out. But if it's a small amount, I'm not sure you can do that, because I don't think you'd be able to cash out 5 euros worth of stuff. The fees would be more than the amount. But I may do something like that. I've also got my camera with me, and I'm continually looking at what I've done already, and I'm finding out what interests me in the films I've done and what I'd like to see. And it's not really the day today because it's a bit quiet, it's Sunday, but I'd really like to do a busy scene with lots of people and lots of things going on. And go back and have a look at that, and have lots of different things to look at. But I don't know if I'll be doing any recording today. I guess I could do something at the Connemara above. Maybe in the kitchen. There really is. I mean, I love recording in the Connemara. I love the light. I love the look of the place. But there is, if you've done a few, they're all kind of the same. There's not much point in doing 20 videos and they're all exactly the same. I also must call my mother today. I haven't heard from her in a long time. It's kind of unusual that she hasn't called me. She's the one normally calls, and if I miss the call, I'll call back. But I haven't heard anything in a long time. And I know she's got a new phone. Her phone didn't work, and she got the phone from Justine, so she may be having trouble operating it or something. My mother is 82. She turned 82 in March. And I turned 57. I'll be 58 in a few months. That'll be my special 10 years sobriety date. 10 years. the way this age thing works is that basically you don't think about it very much. You know, it's the great thing about humans in general. I know it's not everybody, but most people, you're not really able to ponder on a subject for very long, especially one that's one like aging. There's nothing you can do about it. And then you kind of realize, I guess, you realize exactly that there's nothing you can do about it. So you can be as depressed as you want or fearful, but there isn't really any alternatives. There's no way of stopping it. Now, should I keep talking or should I stop? Because I'm now walking beside the road here. It's going to be car after car probably, which is not very good to listen to. My mother's 88, and I've just had that last 10 years. And sometimes when I look back at things I've done 3-4 years ago, and I realize I say the same things, I do the same things, it's literally the same day as today. Even these audio things, I'm saying the same things, I'm walking the same way. This could literally be something the way I did this 10 years ago, well, it wasn't, but let's say the first one I did 3 or 4 years ago is exactly like now. Nothing's changed. But the time rolls on. And it's strange to think that in another decade, which is a long time, my mother will be 92. And I'll be 68, 67. Of course, there's no guarantees, but 67. I hope I live to be very old, and I hope I'm healthy. Because I have to say, as I get older, I feel I'm taking more out of life. I feel I'm enjoying it more. I'm appreciating the details, the smaller things, with an ever increasing pleasure. And I didn't anticipate that. I'm always finding things to do. I don't really get bored very often. I don't even get that depressed very often. And so I hope nothing happens to me, because I'm kind of no longer in that, if I ever was, in a depressive state. I'm actually looking forward to the future. Just to see what happens, It's all very interesting. The unknown is scary. We don't know what way we're going to end up. But again, like I said, it's like thinking about aging itself. There isn't much point in dwelling on it, because there's nothing you can do about it. So, where are we? Almost 25 minutes. I'll probably shut down the audio here. I think I've said everything that's kind of going on at the moment. And it's not a lot, which is really good. I've got my appointment with Dr. Merite Wednesday. He's doing an ultra scan, and then a few weeks later I've got to go to Nice for my second yearly check with Dr. Meshi. Well, we were looking into the adult autism and how about doing a test for that, because I was just interested in how these tests are done. You know, genuinely interested in the procedure more than anything, but it turns out that the place I was supposed to go is not really there anymore in Marseille. There's some cutbacks in the budget and they're not running it from there, and so I might just take that as a sign that I'm not to bother with it. The sale of the Connemara, I should have mentioned that. Tiffany has been sent the Promis de Vente to sign. She's going through it. She's going to go through it this weekend now. We sent Patrick an email, or rather the notaire sent Patrick an email saying that we'd moved on to someone else. And that was about a week ago, and he hasn't come back to us at all. And I'd kind of given that guy the benefit of the doubt for so much of the time, but I have to say this thing with the email is extremely it kind of put the jurors more on Flo's side. The fact that if he saw it, he can't even be bothered to answer it, or he hasn't seen it, doesn't bother checking things like that, hasn't contacted us about anything in a month, and so you have to wonder if things were left like this, how long would it actually take Patrick to contact us? How long would it actually take him to sign this form if things just remained like this, if we didn't have Tiffany? How long would it all take? Would it be another month? Would it be 3-4 months? Would it go on for 7-8 months and then we'd contact him and he'd say, I'm not interested? Anyway, that's the situation there. We're not finished yet. We're getting to that crucial point, this is Flo saying, that when someone has that form in front of them, they've got all the bank details and the go-ahead from the bank, and really the only thing left to do is to sign the form. That's when people can get cold feet. They start to think, oh my God, this is it. This is where I hand over 48 grand. Am I ready? And that's when people can sometimes change their mind. And that's kind of what we're going through now with Tiffany. As I was saying to Flo, it depends on how motivated and how eager and how the various pieces in her life are arranged, you know. Is she eager to get going, to get in there, to start work? Or is she starting to have sleepless nights? It's the difference. Actually, no, you can have sleepless nights for two reasons. One, because you can't wait to get in there and you're full of excitement and you just want to be done with the process and start. That's one way. Or you're having sleepless nights because you're wondering if you're making a terrible fucking mistake. We should know in the next 2 weeks. And we're arriving at the depot. 30 minutes. I don't think I have anything else to say actually. Up to date. You're up to date, Eddie, in the future. This is the first entry on this device as well. I've uploaded everything else, so I'm all up to date with the audio stuff. And I'll probably do a few more before I begin these uploads. This could be the summer one, the 21st of May. By the way, just to finish with, it's nice to think that how nice I feel at this moment compared to last year. Last year I was right in the middle of all that problems with my eye. I was either I had received a word, we were stressed, and I was about to have the operation done on my eye, and then I was have to go in for the 2 weeks treatment. That was all ahead of me. This time last year, there may well be a recording on audio somewhere, just back a bit, from May 2022. I'm sure there is. There's definitely a very long recording called Agreeableness from the time I was actually in the Consolata. I remembered both words. That's something. But it's nice to be here now, at the beginning of the summer, looking ahead. And not having an operation on my eye or anything to look forward to. You know, it's nice not to have those things, to have them, they're done way in the past. I should remember that. Especially when I get upset about crypto or whatever. I'm trying to remember what's important. Just living from day to day. Kind of with the clear head, that's all that's important. Everything else is kind of a distraction. I like Eckhart Tolle, he goes into depth about all of this stuff. It really is all distractions, everything else. You know, the worry of running out of money, the worry of not getting a job, the worry of constantly being irritating to each other, me and Flo, when we sell the car, all those things. It's exactly the same as worrying about old age. There's nothing much you can do about it. Okay, a little voice in the back of my head says, well, not quite, because you can't start looking hard and fast for a job. You could start, there's no reason why you couldn't start making inquiries as you're in the Connemara. Because it is kind of a hurdle. It's to, you know, to do the CV is one hurdle, and then to step into one of those places and ask someone, I'm looking for a job, give the CPV and have some contact with someone. You know? But Flo would think there's no point in doing that now, because what would be the point if someone said, yeah, sure, start. Anyway, I should say adios. And I might do some filming if it's very quiet, actually. It might be nice to record the town and the streets empty. Gonna have to call my mother from the Connemara. But that's it. Goodbye for now.